Russian President Vladimir Putin started the day in the far eastern part of his country, touring a fish factory ahead of his meeting today with President Donald Trump. It's a meeting that could have a significant impact on international diplomacy as Putin tries to get some wins for his country while he wages an unprovoked war with Ukraine.
President Donald Trump boarded a plane at Joint Base Andrews this morning to fly to the summit in Russia.
So that meeting started less than an hour ago. It is the first in-person meeting between Presidents Trump and Putin now since 2019. President Trump will likely be trying to show off his skills as a deal maker as he works toward ending that war in Ukraine.
Many in Ukraine are protesting the meeting. They're alarmed that there's no representative from Ukraine in the talks, and as Russian troops continue to bombard their home. Here's Richard Engel with more from the eastern part of the country.
I'm now in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk, and the government has just issued an order for families with children to evacuate towns and villages around this city because of an ongoing Russian offensive. This apartment building was destroyed by a Russian attack just 2 weeks ago, and several Ukrainian civilians were killed. And Russia is carrying out attacks just like this one every single day across Ukraine. And today, Ukrainians are particularly worried that President Trump and Vladimir Putin are meeting in Alaska, potentially making big decisions about the future of this country without Ukrainians in the room. And they worry that Vladimir Putin will not be held accountable for all of the damage and all of the deaths that Russia continues to inflict on this country. And Ukrainian officials and soldiers that I've spoken to all have one piece of advice for President Trump today: don't take Vladimir Putin at his word. Richard Engel, NBC News, Kramatorsk, Ukraine.
While leaders from Ukraine and Europe were not invited to today's summit, the commander of U.S. and NATO forces in Europe is on hand. He's an ardent supporter of Ukraine. He advocates for getting more military aid into the besieged country, and his presence is welcomed by European leaders.